Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. News and prophecy going into the things happening worldwide, linking those things to the Holy Scriptures so that the faithful elect and remnant of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai can make sense of this mess that is before us. All right, we're living in the end of Esau's world, whereas he's pretty much honing in on obtaining an artificial, all right, pseudo blessing for himself. All right, starving out humanity. All right, killing off a whole hell of a bunch of people. Using false flag events to put fear in people. All right, using his power to oppress people, drawing them out, to say things and do things that can be labeled insurrection so that he can be justified in bringing the sword, AI governance, digital IDs, okay, universal basic incomes, all right, which are things that are going to help him forward and attain his plan at a new world order. And to have everybody chipped after so many people are killed off via famine, the sword, wild animals, poisoning the food. These are all of the things that we are living through. We are in the perilous times spoken of in the book of Timothy, okay, which the word perilous means hard to approach, okay, straight, fierce, okay, and things are about to turn up as we see our enemy threatening to cut aid and nourishment from the American people, using our people as the face of it. Okay, he has his eye on you Israelites, all right, and he's presenting you as the ones who are sucking up all of the goods from the system. Once they can get rid of you and stop supporting you, then we can move forward with our America. All right, when all you have to do is look it up. Okay, as a matter of fact, I'll go here. Okay, because when you look at how our enemy is coming at our people, we know that our people ain't shit. We know 2/3 are wicked, but Esau Edom, he's just not right. See, and he's going to pay for his evil and his wickedness. Now, this is Mike Davis, because again, as I said, your enemy is trying to draw emotions out of you. He's trying to get you to react. He's looking for any reason to bring the sword, okay, and forward AI governance, instituting, things like Palantir into your everyday lives, and setting up the social credit score and making, not making America great again, making America mimic China, places like Russia where ultimately the people don't have a say so. Now, this is Mike Davis, right? You can look him up. This is what he said as we're going to get into the nourishment drying up. And you see all of these things that are happening were prophesied and told to our people, but they didn't want to listen. As a matter of fact, I'll start here. This is the book of Jeremiah 51 and 44. It says, "And I will punish BABYL in Babylon." All right, this place is being judged for the mass idol worship, the evils, the atrocities, the rape, the robbery, the murder, the pedophilia. Okay, this place is not going to get off the hook, all right? "And I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he swallowed up, riches by unlawful means." Okay? "And the nations shall not flow together anymore unto him." All right? Many nations in this time are looking, for ways around the U.S. dollar. The dominance of the West is now being mocked. They're no longer the power they used to be. His own allies are tired of him. So these devils are not in good case. They're being found out. You know, every time you look up, you know, some conspiracies happening, there's some arguments, some back and forth. This devil's government and rulership is on its way out. So the only thing he can do is, you know, scoff at bringing a sword, scoff at ruining your lives, using the power that he has. It says, yea, the wall of Babylon will fall. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. And this is spiritual. Okay. What does the scripture say in the book of Micah, the second chapter in the 10th verse? Arise and depart, for this is not your rest. See? And our people have used this grace period to get more wicked, to get more proud. They got their little benefits and they turn their back on the Lord. Right? While they should have been repenting and preparing their minds for this very day that we're witnessing. Okay? The fierce anger of the Lord is getting ready to hit this earth. And our people, all right, who have not repented will be victims. So we have to prepare our minds for these things. Lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that, in another year shall come a rumor, and then violence in the land and ruler against ruler. See? So if you're not prepared, if you're not stable, your heart will faint. Okay? If you know, put off the evil day, as the scripture said, when these things actually happen, you're not going to be stable. But the water Yahweh Bashim Yahshai for a remnant who are promised stability in these times through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, as we see our enemy scoffing and mocking. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Psalms 12 and 5. For the oppression of the poor, okay, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at them. And our enemy is definitely puffing at us. Okay, of course, he has his eyes set on the 2/3, right? He's calling out Pookie and Ray Ray and, you know, the welfare queens, right? As a matter of fact, going here, this demon Mike Davis says we should only help people who can't help themselves. It's outrageous. 40 million people get food stamps. And the crazy part about this is the larger percentage of food stamp and SNAP benefits go to Edomites. And they get larger amounts. Okay? Get off your fat ghetto asses. Get a job. But AI is taking all of the jobs. What job are they going to get? Okay? Bill Gates has programs in place, and Musk, all right, that are going to take jobs from everyday civil, you know, working class people. Okay. So what's the goal here? You know, on one hand, you know, it won't be any jobs. We won't need humans for this. But on the other hand, get a job. Stop reproducing. Change your shitty culture. Stop giving food stamps to immigrants. Okay. And this won't let me, for some reason, when you're on a computer, it won't let you click on it. But on the phone, it'll let you see the full thing. Okay. This is a comment by someone here. 37% of white families are on food stamps. They are the largest beneficiaries of food stamps. They are the highest users per capita, and they receive the highest dollar amounts per family. Absolutely. All right. But anytime they talk about welfare or what's sucking up the system, they're pointing the finger at you Israelites. All right. Keeping the camera, all right, in front of Shaniqua and Daniqua and, you know, this nigga, Alex Jones, national security alert. Watch hordes of EBT funded zombies. Okay. And we told you these Christian nationalists, these Edomites are getting ready to go insane on you niggas, man. You need to be under the covering of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because Esau, you think he just gonna keep talking. No, he's getting ready to put all of these things into motion because he has but a short time to accomplish his NWO. The cat's out of the bag. He's the Edomite. He's been found out. Every time you look up, he's getting caught left and right. All right. So as the scriptures say, let's get it. Let's get Revelation 12. Revelation, the 12th chapter. Revelation 12:10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down. See? Which accused them before our power day and night. So we see the accuser. All right. Which this is a post from GMS Austere Man. Subscribe and be edified. Okay. Alex Jones. Watch hordes of EBT funded zombies pledge to rob America starting November 1st when SNAP benefits end because of the Democrat Party orchestrated government shutdown. So you see the left blaming the right blaming the left. Two horns like a lamb. Now they're getting ready to speak as a dragon. We have been telling you this day in and day out, week in and week out, right? Another Edomite. Okay. Walmart after EBT gets cut off. Okay. And they're showing a gorilla. Okay. So they're poking at you, Jakes. Okay. 40 million Americans at risk as food assistance running out. The real question is, why are 42 million Americans collecting food stamps? They keep on spitting out kids and living off the government. And I think you know what group I'm talking about. So as you can see here, there's a finger pointed at you Israelites, when the true receivers of welfare are the small hats. All right. In the state of Israel, you have Ukraine, which are another group of small hats. You just had 40 billion go to, I believe, Argentina, which the president over there is a small hat, and they have the largest small hat population of any place in South America. See that? So there's the technocrats are taking over. Your bills are getting higher because of the data centers. They're funding all kind of BS and madness. Trump got a so-called ballroom, which could be a bunker or some, we know it holds 999 people. And when you go into the makeup of it, all right, yeah, there's 33 all into it. This devil is just going mad and on his idols, sacrifices taking place, right? But again, before we get into this lesson and get into these videos, as you can see, your enemy is what? Puffing at you. He's telling you, get off your fat ghetto asses. And the crazy part about it, as someone put, Edomites receive a lot of this aid. Now, what I ask here is, can you break down corporate welfare in America? Now, I'm not gonna hit all of these points, but why is nobody talking about all of the welfare that these corporations receive? When you really want to look at who's sucking up the resources and where your so-called resources are going, look no further than the rich. It says, absolutely, this is an important topic that ties directly into how wealth and power are structured in modern America. Let's break down corporate welfare in plain terms, then dig into the types, examples, and effects, both economic and moral. What is corporate welfare? Corporate welfare refers to government policies, subsidies, tax breaks, or bailouts that benefit corporations or wealthy investors, often at public expense, including you Edomites. But anytime they want to point the finger at what's draining the funds and what's ruining our system, they always blame the poor. And now you got the poor arguing with the poor while the elites are setting up the NWO and putting complete hell on you people. It's called welfare because, like social welfare for individuals, it involves government support. But unlike food stamps or housing aid, corporate welfare often goes to profitable companies rather than the poor. All right. Just like right now, we're seeing, all right, particular corporations get bailed out. Okay. Billions of dollars in aid. Meanwhile, the poor are just told to shut up, go get a job, but then the robot took the job. So while poor families may get a few $100s a month in assistance, large corporations can receive millions or even billions through tax credits, subsidies, or contracts. Okay, and then it goes to the types of corporate welfare. Okay, direct subsidies, tax breaks and loopholes, government bailouts, indirect subsidies, land, resource, and real estate giveaways. Okay. And these are the real, okay? These are the real things that are draining your so-called America. All right? But again, the rich can do all of this wickedness. As a matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter, or Sirach, the 13th chapter. As a matter of fact, I'll do it like this. Sirach 13 in the GNT, right? It says, verse 3, if a rich person wrongs someone, he can afford to add insult to injury. But if a poor person is wronged, he is forced to apologize for himself. So now you see these Edomites putting the cameras, all right, in front of all of these monsters, as we're going to show you. Okay, saying, oh my God, they're getting ready, and which a lot of this could be, you know, fake. Some of it could be AI. Overall prophecy is getting ready to be fulfilled. And our enemy is getting ready to come down with great wrath, man. He's trying to set up a pseudo birthright and blessing for himself via his technology, all right, and his so-called science. So I have here, all right, this is off of the U.S. Department of Agricultural website, a government website, right? And you click on it, and what does it say? Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times not to fund the food stamp program, also known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November the 1st. We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. So you go to the website and they're blaming the Democrats. You go to the Democrats, they're blaming the Republicans. It's so convoluted and confused, all right, that you will really believe that there's a back and forth over this, right? When really this is another play at the NWO to bring you Americans to your knees, because we are over the days of abundance for regular people. We are over the days of a middle class. We are over the days of enjoying your life. It's time to make an angrier world. And it's time to get rid of a lot of these, you know, the opinionated monkeys, all right, and Americans, okay, and establish this order on the planet Earth. It says they can continue to hold out for health care for illegal aliens, propaganda they're just throwing out there, and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government, all right, so mothers, babies, and most vulnerable among us, all right, the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance.
The well has run dry. That's the message from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The USDA says federal food benefits will not go out to families on November 1st while the government shutdown continues. The federal government said it wouldn't tap into the roughly $5 billion in contingency funds to keep the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program funded into November. The program...
So they're not going to tap into the $5 billion contingency fund, right? Which, here's why. Let's listen to this guy.
Do you think the administration should tap into those funds or find other sources in order to show that millions of Americans need it?
And this is a Christian nationalist who was found out to be a sodomite. All right. Just like the majority of these so-called Edomite Christian nationalists that are in positions of power, they're closeted moles and demons. You could just look at this guy I believe this is the dude who was caught. They looked, his phone history was completely dark, but I believe he was sharing it with his son. Something came out about this guy, but he's a demon. You can look at him and tell he's it's a lie. But they're asking him about this $5 billion that's supposed to be set aside for times like this to help, American families, and this is his answer.
Well, look, I can tell you the administration has worked, as you all know, very creatively and very hard to limit the pain on the Americans because of the Democrats' shutdown. And
again, you see the left blaming the right blaming the left. Okay, meanwhile, what's happening around you? The elite's plans of the NWO is being implemented. Okay?
the SNAP benefits is a unique situation. I got a summary of the whole legal analysis, and it certainly looks legitimate to me. The contingency funds are not legally available to cover the benefits right now. The reason is because it's a finite source of funds. It was appropriated by Congress, and if they transfer funds from these other sources, it pulls it away immediately from school meals and infant formula. So it's a trade-off.
So you see this devil, he's just going to keep moving the goalposts, creating loopholes. All right. And as people are sick of these people, but this is what they want. They want people to react. Okay. They want people to lose it. Okay. So that they can justify, all right, come in with the sword, the robots, and everything else they got planned for you people.
There has to be a pre-existing appropriation for the contingency fund to be used, and Democrats blocked that appropriation when they rejected the clean continuing resolution. So the way to make this stop immediately is we just need a handful. We need 5 more Democrats in the Senate to do the right thing. Wake up.
You could just tell this dude is lying. Okay.
It helps 1 in 8 Americans buy groceries. The Trump administration blames Democratic lawmakers who say they won't agree to reopen the government until they can negotiate a deal with Republicans on extending expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. Democrats wrote a letter to the Agriculture Secretary to use contingency funds to cover the bulk of next month's benefits. However, a USDA memo says, quote, contingency funds are not legally available to cover regular benefits, end quote. The memo said it reserves that money for things like helping people after a disaster strikes, according to the AP.
Well, it's going to be a disaster on November 1st. Okay. So the well has run dry. Okay. And again, our people, right? Let's get the book of Second Esdras, the 9th chapter. Okay. We got a few videos to get into. So much happening. All right. You can't even sit down without getting up, and it's just all over the place, man. Second Esdras chapter 9. And 9. Then shall there be in pitiful case which have now abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such in their life have received benefits and have not known me. See, you receive these little benefits and you forgot about the Lord. Because you got some decent people, who are on these programs as well that are going to suffer, but the Lord is going to get you through it. See? The elect. You got certain members of the elect who may be on these programs. Don't worry about it, man. This devil ain't the end all be all food. And this day had to come. Okay? In order for us to get to the kingdom we want, the hard times associated with prophecy have to be fulfilled. So don't worry about it, man. You got certain brothers who are in some crazy situations. All right. And what are we doing? We continuously prophesying. We continuously doing the work, prayerful, hopeful, and the Lord is going to get us through it. He didn't bring us this far to just abandon us. However, our faith will be tested. We're not here to bring you this, feel good story that, that you won't go through anything. You won't have to, you won't be challenged. No, you're going to be challenged. Okay. But if we have the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and we have the faith. So they have received benefits and have not known the Lord. And they that have loathed my law, while yet they had liberty, grace. And when as yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood it not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. And pursuant to the book of Revelation, the 6th chapter, right? Revelation, the 6th chapter, and the 8th verse says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse. Okay. He is as death. And the name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him. Hell on earth, all right, follows this devil, man. Wherever he goes, he brings what? Hell, hard times, death, confusion. Okay, here it is. They've taken all of the trees out of your neighborhoods, okay, and have you hooked on Snap and these different benefits when there's a whole earth in front of you. Okay, when you were little, I know in where I grew up at, there was trees and fruit all around us, and we didn't even think about it. In my backyard, in the hood, avocado tree, lemon tree, apple tree. Next door, fig tree. Behind me, loquat tree, which is like a little plum, yellow type plum. Up the street, you know, it was all kind of trees and foods around, but you notice that it ain't like that no more. They made it a point to ruin the atmosphere, destroy the soil, destroy the sea, and just pretty much there should be free food right around everybody if you just kept the law. But this man he's insatiable. He's a demon. He wants you to come to him. Even the Terminator seed concept. Okay, he wants you to ultimately be dependent on him, and this is ultimately what our people, all right, have done. All right, they forgot about the Lord. Okay, so the so-called white man has become your God. Now he's getting ready to what? Divorce your ass, right? And show you, nigga, I was a serpent the whole time. And power was given unto him over the fourth part of the earth, all right, the new world over here in America, to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death, all right, and with the beasts of the earth. Okay? This is what he's getting ready to do. Let's go here.
Have you guys realized you only got a few days before things go down? This is just one of the things I want to show you.
Breaking news, Walmart has made a major decision ahead of the expected SNAP benefit chaos. Starting November 1st, all Walmart stores will close their doors to in-person shoppers. Only employees will be allowed inside, while customers will have to shop online or use curbside pickup. The company's message to shoppers is clear. Do your shopping before November 1st because you won't be coming in here with that mess.
And we're getting messages like this.
It says that the link is definitely cut off for November. Y'all better stay out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Trump, if you want, mother start looting, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broke and like junk, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. Oh, I live in Chicago. Do y'all think these people finna sit back without no EBT? You know how many bitches I know that got like 9 kids and depend on that shit? I'm not eating 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Look, guys, it's going to get messy in more ways than one.
They can't cut into their bottom line, so what are they going to do? They're going to jack up the prices. They're going to lay people off. They're going to cut people's hours. They're going to not order as many shipments of food. Who brings the food to the grocery stores? Truck drivers? They're not going to have the load that they did before because the demand is down. Where do the trucks get the products? At distribution centers? So distribution centers won't need the same amount of workers. They won't need people there every day. They'll probably let people go home early, stay home, maybe lay people off. What about the farmers that have all this food to move and nowhere to send it? So they're just going to be sitting on stockpiles of food, a lot of it perishable, that has nowhere to go. This is going to be a massive ripple that goes out and affects multiple people across multiple facets of this chain. Because the people at the top are not going to lose money. They're going to make sure of that.
We're talking like 40 million people. Whether you've got EBT card and food assistance or not, this is going to affect you. You may not want to go to the store. Check out what this guy has to say. And this guy has a valid point.
November 1st, food stamps are set to expire, SNAP benefits, whatever you want to call them. And 42 million people across the country will be relying on those food stamps to come in but won't get them. Now, as a dad of 3.
So the again, the nourishment is getting cut off. Okay, the scriptures, let's get the book of Revelation 12 real quick. Okay, and you notice they showing Jake. All right, Jake is at the forefront of, like, we getting ready to lose it, we getting ready to rebel, and this only helps the devil, all right, to come down on your ass. Okay, they're very crafty, man. Okay. And again, we got to understand some of this stuff can be AI, because remember, let's pull this up real quick.
All right, guys, we got to talk about this. So you know how we basically have a bunch of young.
Not that Jake ain't silly and stupid and ain't go, act the ass, because you have to understand Jake doesn't have. They're not cultivated. They don't have the fear of the Lord. All right. So I mean, the American people, period. That's the thing. Are all gonna lose it. Okay, but they want to put this narrative that it's just Jake, but all of these Americans are crazy, uncouth, especially after that jab. So we know, our people are crazy and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but the enemy is laying snares as well. I've been meaning to go into this, and this is the perfect time to bring this out. DHS threatened race war with fake video of black teen.
Groyper idiots who are staffing the Republican politicians' campaigns and their cabinets and stuff. Well, now that's all coming to a head. Because, you're seeing them tweet casual Nazi memes, subtle hidden Heil Hitler stuff, remigrate, which is just a euphemism for ethnic cleansing. Now you have the Department of Homeland Security is trying to start a race war based on fake news and lies. Here's one example right here. So Homeland Security tweets the following. If you threaten or lay hands on our law enforcement officers, we will hunt you down and you will find out really quick. We'll see you cowards soon. So they tweet this video. We're going to take a look at this video. Ready? So it's a 10-second video. I'm going to mute it because it's copyright music that's playing. But it says on the screen here, ICE, we're on the way. Word in the streets, cartels put a $50K bounty on y'all. And so it's a group of black kids, black teenagers. And, this one's trying to make like a scary looking face or whatever. And, putting the mask over his mouth. But the idea is, it looks like they're sort of threatening ICE. They're threatening ICE and saying, we're working with the cartels or whatever to make $50,000 by killing you. So look at this. Ready? Now, again, look at how young these black kids are. I'm actually not even sure. Some of them might not even be teens, right? Like they might be teens, but some of them look like they might even be younger. This could be like a 12-year-old, right? But Homeland Security tweets this out. Okay, ready for the reality? Here is the original video that they fucking changed the text on. So this was tweeted in the wake of Trump attacking Iran. This was tweeted, this video with the text, "You seen what we can do. Don't say something that you can't finish, Iran. We are already united. We all stand. We want all the smoke." So here we go.
So they used, and this is an AI video. And the thing with this AI is you're not going to be able to tell, okay, what's real, what's fake. So a lot of this stuff that we even looking at, right, with let's get some of these videos, right, which a lot of these videos are real, don't get it twisted, but you don't know what they can throw out there. All right, was another one I had as well. Here we go.
Just when you thought the AI slap couldn't get any worse, OpenAI just released the new Sora app, which is a social media platform for making purely AI-generated content. You basically just upload your voice and your likeness to insert yourself in videos, and suddenly you're part of the brain rot too. Now, their latest video model, Sora 2, is so scarily high quality that it's getting harder to tell what's even real anymore, and people are already using it to generate fake CCTV footage of you committing crimes. There's a bunch of fan-made anime.
From now on, anything bad that I say is AI. Anything good that I say is real.
And we'll get more into that in another video, but this is just to show you the time that we're in, man. Imagine what they can do with this technology. There's a lot of stuff that we're looking at on the internet, and it's just it's fake. It's AI. But it can then be used, all right, to build a narrative and to wage war. These are the times that we are living in, man. Okay?
Let's stop acting like people are just living off of food stamps because they fucking want to, okay? If people had enough money, $200, $300, $400 extra to spare for food, they probably wouldn't want to be on fucking food stamps. You guys are ignorant as fuck, and it's pissing me the fuck.
Ugh. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious, man. Our people are just yuck.
We shouldn't have to take care of your kids, bitch. That's why we pay taxes. We don't get shit else for free. So why the fuck can our tax money go towards people who fucking need it? Food is not a fucking privilege. It's not a privilege to be able to eat, bitch. You have to eat to survive. Don't piss me off, bro.
No food stamps in November for Thanksgiving is insane. And it has to be a direct attack.
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit. Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jack, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card, food that bitch say ain't no pending balance on there. I'm going to walk the fuck Donald motherfucking Orange Man J Trump. I'm gonna take it just like this. What the fuck you mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November? Cause I'm getting my goddamn shit. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers, but I'm getting my shit.
Goodness gracious, our people are just atrocious, man. I mean, we can continue on this, but see, like I was getting, okay, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and 13. All right, we know that the book of Revelation jumps around, okay? It says, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, okay, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And this goes back to what happened in the ancient Western Roman Empire when they, persecuted the Church of Yahushai, blamed them for things that they didn't do and used it to, justify waging war and passing laws that made it legal to put, all right, what they call Christians to death, okay? And that led to us, as Yahushai told us that day was going to come, all right, that led to us, all right, fleeing, okay? In 70 AD, eventually we fled Rome, okay, and went into the interiors of Africa, certain parts of Europe, okay? And from there, prophecy was fulfilled, all right, later on down the line, because we primarily settled on the west coast of Africa, all right, the Horn of Africa. And from there, later on, we were brought to the Americas, all right, on cargo slave ships via the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 68. But right here, it says in Revelation 12 and 4, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle. This symbolizes ultimately the angels guiding our people to go exactly where he wanted them to go, or where the Lord wanted us to go for the purpose of prophecy, man. Okay? So we fled, okay? And you can just look it up. All right, we fled Jerusalem in 70 AD, okay? Those of us who weren't, caught up and put to death, we fled in large numbers, all right? And as it says here, the woman, which the woman represents Israel, the book of Jeremiah, goodness gracious, Jeremiah 6 and 2 says, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Daughter of Zion represents the nation of Israel, the wife, the bride of the Heavenly Father. So to the woman, all right, who earlier in this chapter has 12 stars on her head, okay, representing the nation of Israel, we're given 2 wings of a great eagle that she might fly into the wilderness, all right, into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and a half a times from the face of the serpent. All right. So ultimately, this represents our final captivity. OK, and over here, we were nourished. All right. Ultimately, we received, laws were passed so that we can, work, go to the library, programs and food and, stores. And this is the place where we were nourished. All right. For the sake of prophecy. Now, when you look at this word nourished, all right, it's trepho. And what does it mean? To nourish, all right, for support. All right, the Lord put a spirit on our enemy to pass certain laws. Okay, although we would never, get ahead. All right, we were nourished. We were able to get jobs. We, became football stars, baseball stars. As you can see, SNAP, food stamps. Okay, to give suck, to fatten, to nurture. All right, so we had to eat, drink, live lives so that the prophets could eventually raise up and do what we're doing here. Now, let's get the book of real quick, Isaiah, because as it says, bring up to nurture, all right, to fatten, okay? And as the scriptures say, all right, our people wax fat, okay? So we receive nourishment over here in the form of certain these programs. But as you say, it's here, Deuteronomy 32:15. But Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. See, thou art waxen fat and grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. All right. And the Lord doesn't take too light to that. OK, he is a jealous power. So as you can see here, fatten by implication, to cherish with food, pamper. OK, which it was a snare. All right. But we even grew up. I remember the paper food stamps my grandma used to get, the mom and dad, we would get some of them from her. Okay. WIC, all these various different government cheese. Okay. These are programs that were used to nourish us. All right. As we were in our final captivity. All right. That 3 days and a half points to what? Let's get Revelation chapter 11. Right. Revelation chapter 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. Right. After that 350 years of just hardcore, bondage, man, getting our asses whooped from 1619 to the 60s. All right. We suffered without understanding of who we were. Some, you had particular men and different Torah groups that would, here and there, but the true understanding didn't come out until the 60s. Okay. After 3 days and a half, the Lord put a spirit on us. All right. And that 3 days and a half, as a matter of fact, let's get, Daniel, the 7th chapter. Okay. Daniel 7. And 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand unto a time and times and a dividing of times. So a time and times and a dividing of times, all right, speaks to 350 years. Now, during this time, we will, even up to this day, like Wilder says, we're worn out. All this devil does is seek ways to oppress us, to ultimately, paint us in a negative light, which we're not for the 2/3. We know that our people are jacked up. We speak on the judgment that's coming unto them. All right. But you devils got to pay as well. But as you read here in Revelation 12:14, and the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness. All right. Over here into Babylon the Great, unto her place where she was nourished for a time and times. All right. For a time and times and a half a time. That's that 350-year period. All right. Speaking to our final captivity. All right. Where ultimately, all right. And it says from the face of the serpent, because ultimately he wouldn't be able to destroy the truth. Eventually we will wake up. All right. Let's get this in the NLT. All right. But she was given 2 wings like those of a great eagle, so she could fly into a place prepared for her in the wilderness. Okay. And this is that place where she would be cared and protected from the dragon. So ultimately the Lord, all right, put a spirit on this devil to kind of, hold up on hanging us from trees and these various different things. Although he was still destroying us with laws and, Jim Crow and all these various different things. Eventually things worked out to where we were good enough. Okay, to where we can go to the library, receive the Holy Spirit, go out on the highways and do what we're doing now, man. Okay. But again, that word nourish speaks to what? Okay. Food. Okay. Aid. Right. Which ultimately was the Lord who gave it to us, but he gave it to us, all right, through this system. All right. So now we're living at a time. All right. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. But the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. Meaning you're going to be in a position of humble. You're going to be humbled. See? They shall lament for the teats. All right. For the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Okay. They're going to lament for the teats. Okay. They're going to be crying for the teats. And what is the teats? Okay. Shad, breast, bosom. Okay. The nourishment, all right, that came with this system is being taken away. As they're telling you, nigga, the well is running dry.
I'm gonna tell you just like this on Jesus Lamar motherfucking Christ. I will be at motherfucking Walmart with my
No, these are Christians. Jesus Lamar Christ.
steel toes on and my motherfucking helmet, and I dare a bitch try to stop me from walking out that mother.
Trump, it ain't nothing like niggas been knew how to steal. Like, please, niggas, I'll go steal a whole turkey, bitch, and a ham. Like, what I don't know what the fuck wrong with Trump, but I don't know if he want war or not. But niggas is ready. Yo, the internet is not letting up. Yeah, I got me crying. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, it is like, damn, like, dang. Like, niggas don't give a fuck, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, you feel me? I'm mad, but I got food for me. I got food for days. If you know me, you already know how I give it up. Freezer go crazy. But at the end of the day, shit, I'll go buy it or I'll go steal it. It ain't nothing. I steal all that shit. Shit, anyway. Y'all ready for the looting? The fuck is going on? I'm in tune this time. I ain't missing this time. Shit, I'm outside.
With food stamps already being taken away, a Walmart already got fucking raided. And this is not going to be the first by taking away the EBT fucking food stamps, especially right before fucking Thanksgiving, right before the fucking holidays.
Oh, it's like our women just got filthy, nasty mouths. Goodness gracious. Again, there's nothing wrong, you know, with a curse word here and there, but goodness great, every freaking word. God damn, these niggas are worse than pirates.
And if they think the American people are going to be okay with it, you think the American people are going to go starving? Yeah, you got it all the way fucked up. Expect way more fucking riots at the grocery stores, at Walmart, at Target.
See, a lot of this stuff we're looking at back here, this could be AI. But your enemy is watching this. He's recording everything. And again, they're going to use all of this footage, all of these talking points as a means to say, okay, we got to be prepared. Right?
Wherever EBT is fucking accepted at, yeah. Because apparently the only place that is still getting EBT is New York City and California. But what about the rest of the fucking thousands and millions of fucking people who literally depend on fucking EBT for food? And I heard Aldi is doing a Thanksgiving feeding of 10 people for only $40 freaking dollars. And I don't know how true it is, but you know what? If it is, I'm so motherfucking glad. Mind you, Aldi is not even an American brand. It's a European brand. They don't even celebrate Thanksgiving yet. If people have no food during Christmas, have no food during Thanksgiving. Like, they know exactly what they are doing. They want people to cause commotion. But these are just people who are...
Exactly. They want people to cause commotion. They're drawing you out. Because you believe it. Let me tell you niggas something. You're not ready for war with Esau Edom. Okay? And y'all don't understand y'all don't fear the Lord. Y'all don't understand the Lord's role in all of this. Remember, this is the same Lord who in the Neo-Babylonian captivity, all right, Ezekiel 4:16. Then he told me, son of man, I will make food very scarce in Jerusalem. Okay? It will be weighed out with a great care and eaten carefully. The water will be rationed drop by drop, and the people will drink it with dismay. Lacking food and water, people will look at one another in terror, and they will waste away under their punishment. Why? Because what were they caught up into in this captivity? Idol worship, rebellion, wickedness. All right, mocking the prophets. So what did the Lord do? He starved their asses, man. And we're getting ready to witness okay, a scenario like that here in Babylon the Great. Okay, because the Lord, again, they're going to lament for the teats. Okay, the gathering shall not come. Okay, the Heavenly Father, all right, the nourishment that was used to, keep us up until this point is over with. Okay, now we're getting ready to kick into another gear of this ministry. And miracles will, all right, be a part of it, man. So because you're threatening to go and riot and steal, right?
Are fucking hungry. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, this shit is not gonna end in a good fucking way. If y'all are gonna sit here and think that people of this fucking century is gonna sit home and starve while there's mad fucking grocery stores around them, yeah, you got it all the way fucked up.
And see, a chick like this, right? She's not bad looking, but it just her energy just makes her ugly. Yuck. Our women are just complete monsters, man. Our people gotta go. The 2/3 gotta go, man. I'm sorry. All right, but these are the times we in, right? These are the times we're in, man. And see, these are Jake who so-called believe in the Bible. They're not considering prophecy. This is why the scriptures say, let's get it real quick. Okay? Where there is no vision, the people perish. They're out here with no covering, man. Thinking they just go curse Esau out. What are you going to do when them troops? It's going to be more than ICE you got to worry about. Okay? You're going to have to worry about these militia groups. All right? You're going to have to worry about, all right, the so-called police. You're going to have to worry about ICE. All right? Then you got to worry about robots. The military men, the UN troops. Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Okay, so we know and understand that our people just lack the vision. Okay, and again, we know prophecy says what? Okay, let's get Isaiah the 19th chapter. Okay, this is all just a snare to get Jake to react. All right, so he can come down on your ass, man. Isaiah 19:17, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which ye have determined against it. All right, as this place collapses, okay, Jake is going to lose it. Okay, this ain't nothing. Jake is ready to snap. And this is the thing about this new generation. They ain't sitting back trying to be politically correct either. That's one thing I will say about Jake. The Jake, these niggas are getting ready to crash out. But there's going to be a lot of blood spilled. All right. It plays right into the hands of what your enemy wants. Okay. As a matter of fact. Okay. Ecclesiastes 5:8, if thou seest the oppression of the poor and the violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, all right, and there be higher than they. Okay. Ezekiel 22:29. All right, the people of the land have used oppression, because what are you going to do? Fight? All right, go stealing and crash out. That's against that's not striving lawfully. Remember, with this wisdom comes what? All right, a standard you have to live up to. So we're not given the okay to go and do these things, but we know that our people are. And there's going to be agent provocateurs. All right, and as you can see, Jake is going to be the face of it all. Okay. Ezekiel 22:29, the people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. Okay, as a matter of fact, when you get Isaiah 10, this is what Esau have done, man. Okay, Isaiah 10:1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right of the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey. See, widows have been a prey. All right, the fatherless have been a prey, and these women have been used to destroy their own nations, all right, along with the men, all right? But in a lot of cases, the men ain't there. They're locked up, okay, drugged out, fagged out, weird, okay, addicted. Okay, so the woman is in a position of a widow, and then you become the prey. And then they rob the fatherless, man. So we're in this position, all right, not only because of the curses we're under, but because of an unrighteous rulership, man. A demonic ruler, man. Because it don't have to be this way with all of the so-called riches that America got. See? Let's go back.
Is gonna sit home and starve while there's mad fucking grocery stores around them. Yeah, you got it all the way fucked up.
Motherfuckers talk about they ain't giving enough food stamps. Bitch, I just ran out the stuff. What, I'm about to what hope? What?
They don't understand. Esau recording all this. That Palantir go show up on your ass, show up to your house, nigga.
Y'all know I done ran out the store if that shit is bagged up. Come on now, I'm just lying and shit. But that I'm premeditating, bitch. I'm getting prepared, bitch. Yeah, for next month, my whole motherfucking Thanksgiving.
I went from having $1,100 EBT every month, and that was just with 4 children, to 0. Now, how the fuck am I gonna feed my children? Was the first thing that came to my mind. Then my inner voice was,
These the same women calling niggas broke. Okay, they're talking crap all over the internet, twerking, just everything wrong with our nation, man. So what does the Lord get ready to do with these? He get ready to starve you niggas, man. And we're going to look at it. We're going to see this judgment, and we're going to, you know, because Esau's the devil, man. I mean, you know, but boy, oh boy, it's getting ready to get crazy, man. Things are getting ready to change, man. So what are they going to do as a response to this? They're going to lock up these particular stores. They're going to justify systems to where you have to have this if you want to buy and sell. Problem, reaction, solution, man. You go into particular stores now, all right, because for a long time, even in California, I remember I went home to visit Oakland, right? And I had heard about it, but the whole smash and grab, like people were just walking into the stores and just walking out, and nobody was doing nothing. So I asked the guy at the register, you know, a demon came in my mind. You might as well walk out with what you got. I was like, nah, hell nah, because we're held to a higher standard. Okay, you F around and play the Lord get your ass. Okay, now people were just walking out with items, okay, and then what was the solution? Okay, now the things are in glass. Now you have to have, you know, and as it goes deeper and deeper into what they want, okay, in this NWO, you're gonna have to be registered so that we know you're not a terrorist on this digital ID, so that we know this, that, boom, and that's how you'll be able to buy and sell if you're registered and if you meet the criteria to buy and sell. Because we have too many crazy monkeys running wild, right? Here in America, right? And again, they're using you Israelites as the face of all of this, man. Okay, let's go back here.
Children, I will tell you that people do anything they have to do to feed their kids. I'm going to also tell you that Walmart and Walgreens and CVS and all these other big box stores, Kroger, Publix, all these people are going to be going to curbside only, pickup, prepaid only. What's that going to do to the country? Well, I'll tell you, it's going to start a bunch of riots. It's going to start a bunch of craziness that you don't think should ever be inside of the United States, and it's about to become everywhere in the United States. So what I'm going to tell you next is the most important thing in this whole video. If you're not prepared for the worst case scenario, you need to be learning how to prepare for that. And you also need to be stocking up on as much as you can.
I've got November 1st, whether you get food assistance or not. This thing could blow up into riots, grocery store shutdowns, and there's things that you guys need to be prepared for, and we're going to go over that today.
Meanwhile, All right. You got billions of dollars going again to Argentina, which of South America, they have the largest small hat population. The president's a small hat. You got 40 billion going there. You got billions of dollars being put into AI infrastructure, billions of dollars being put into data centers. Okay. You got Trump, all right, building the ballroom, right? That's millions of dollars going towards that, which it was basically given it to him a loan. I forget, it was a particular corporation that gave him the money. Okay. But again, 300 million. Big tech and other publicly traded companies are helping to finance the $300 million White House ballroom. So these people are playing in your face. And they want you to react. They're daring you to react. All right. And we're going to get on Esau Edom. All right. I have some other videos, but I'll probably wait until the next news and prophecy. All right. But we know, look, there's a hardcore judgment coming for our people, man. Okay. These people, this man is the devil, man. Ezekiel 5:16, I will shower you with deadly arrows of famine to destroy you. The famine will become more and more severe until every crumb of food is gone. It will behoove you to repent. Not knowing the Lord, being proud, talking about what you gonna do. I'm gonna do this. This is the worst time to be in that spirit. Okay? You have to know and understand, all right, the Lord of hosts, man. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? The scripture said, my people have not known me. They've burned incense to vanity. So you're running around here, all right, you know, whether you believe in Christianity, a lot of you now say, I don't believe in the Bible, I'm just spiritual. A lot of you getting into voodoo. You, again, you never thought you would pay for all of these things, but here we go. It's just the beginning of it. Ezekiel 14:13, Son of man, suppose the people of a country were to sin against me, and I lifted up my fist to crush them, cutting off their food supply and sending famine to destroy both people and animals. You got certain people saying, I can't afford my dog. I can't afford having an animal no more. Okay. Isaiah 3:1. The Lord of heaven's army, all right, will take away from Jerusalem and Judah everything they depend on, every bit of bread, every drop of water, and all their heroes and soldiers and judges and prophets and fortune tellers and elders, army officers and high officials, advisors, skilled craftsmen, astrologers. I will make boys their leaders and toddlers their rulers. So the Lord judged us like this before. Okay. And again, who was at the forefront of the rebellion? Isaiah 3:16. The Lord says, beautiful Zion is haughty. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm reading this in the NLT. Okay. It says, the daughter of, moreover, said the Lord, Judah's women denounced. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, cursing like sailors, right? Walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, the Lord will smite with the scab and the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion and will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet. All right, so ultimately, the Lord is getting ready to judge our people, man. All right, and our women are a big part of that judgment, man. Our people are uncouthed, but the Lord has this generation in an uncouth spirit because they're going, hey, along with, because once these regular Edomites figure out they've been duped, they just going to take it to the streets. And our people are going to be caught in the midst of all of that, man. Without the covering of the Lord, that's dangerous, man. Okay, we're witnessing the Great Depression all over again. Okay, and as we always bring out, the Great Depression is what led to the Social Security system. Okay. And many at that time thought that was the MOTB. See, but this depression is going to lead to something even better than the Social Security tracking and having a number. You're going to have a digital ID now. That's what they're bringing you to.
America is breaking at the dinner table. In 2025, food prices have exploded by 27%, while wages crawled just 4%. The average family now spends over $1,200 a month simply to eat, and still goes to bed hungry. Credit cards are maxed, savings are gone, and dignity is fading with every grocery receipt. Parents skip dinner so their kids can eat. Workers pretend they're not hungry during lunch breaks. This isn't inflation. It's collapse disguised as normal life. The Great Depression isn't a story from the past anymore. It's here, hiding in the middle class, wearing the mask of survival. Number 5, Washington. In Washington, the grocery aisle has become the new front line of economic despair. The same state that gave birth to Amazon's trillion-dollar empire and Starbucks' $6 lattes now hides a dark truth. Its middle class can no longer afford to eat properly. Once a symbol of innovation,
the middle class is gone. That's the goal, all right? Rich and poor. Okay?
And prosperity. Washington is quietly reliving an invisible version of the Great Depression, one where empty stomachs are masked by credit cards and self-checkout beeps. Families who once filled their carts without worry now stand in aisles doing math in their heads, wondering whether a gallon of milk is worth skipping breakfast tomorrow. In 2019, the average cost of groceries in Washington hovered around $700 a month. By 2025, that number has surged past $1,200 for a family of 4. A 70% increase in just 6 years.
You could watch this video. But the Great Depression is back. You know, the purpose of me bringing this out is, remember, the Great Depression led, okay, to a system that was supposed to help people who were in despair. And that system is known as Social Security. So what do you think this Great Depression is going to lead to? Okay, the new digital, all right, system, man. They're collapsing this system, man. And it ain't going to get better. Okay? This is the end of Esau's world. Okay? But he thinks he's going to, you know, the finagle it and you know? Yeah, what I mean? You know, he think he's getting ready to just, you know, deceive everybody and rise up as the phoenix out of the ashes and win. Nah, man. Hell nah. But again, the Great Depression is back. Okay? The cost of living crisis, the food crisis. Now they're taking away food stamps. Electricity prices are going up. This man is systematically breaking the people down, man. This is the squeeze that the scriptures talked about. Luke 24, right? All right, or Luke 21 and 24. Okay? And there shall be 25, and there shall be signs before the return of the Lord. There shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of the nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Okay? Crazy weather patterns. Men's heart failing them for fear and looking after those things which are coming upon the earth, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay? But again, we show you all the time that this word for distress, okay, this is Jacob's trouble is upon us, man, but we're going to be saved out of that trouble. That's the beauty of prophecy. It doesn't just, all right, because the elect, we win. Lord willing, we have that number. But these are the times associated with what we're going to be delivered out of. We're just here to tell you the reality of it, man. Sunoke, straits, distress, all right, the stress of the nations. We're witnessing that. Okay, to get to the point of a cattle squeeze that pushing in on each side, forcing the beast into position where it cannot move so the farmer can administer the medication. This is what they're doing. They're squeezing you on each side, forcing you into position to where it's nowhere you can go, but just to bow to the NWO, all right, or get slaughtered, man. Let's listen to a little bit of this video. All right. Richard Wolff was on this particular show. And let's just listen to this video, a little bit of it. Because, you know, when you listen to her, she really wants America to be healed. And this guy, which I heard he's a small head, I don't know, but he brings out some good information. He's letting her know, baby, America is never going to be the same.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of crazy things that are happening right now, in particular with the economy. A lot of Americans are starting to see that even though we have changed administrations in the White House, that their bottom line still isn't being met, right? Like they're not getting those kitchen tables issues met. And recently, the director of GoFundMe, he made a statement, and I think a lot of people need to hear what he said. He was talking about what people are using GoFundMe for today, and I think it says a lot about the American economy.
On the economy, look through the prism of GoFundMe. I mean, prices for medical expenses, burials, I mean, not to get depressing, and these things have gone through the roof the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, we can continue to see all categories grow. I think maybe one indicator that's interesting is we have a group of sort of a category of fundraising we call essentials, which are things like rent, utility bills, car payments, sort of your basic things you need to get through life. That category has gone up significantly in the last 3 years in practically all our markets because affordability is an issue in essentially all OECD economies.
So people starting GoFundMe campaigns just to get food, and I don't mean to sound flippant. I just think
that's perplexity. When you got to do a GoFundMe just to get a meal, you got people using payment plans to get Taco Bell. Yeah, that's perplexity. They got Klarna. You got you got particular programs where you can buy now and pay later. People are doing that for meals, Taco Bell, McDonald's. That's perplexity. Okay? And this is going to cause riots. This is going to cause more crime. They know exactly what they're doing, man. Aporia for perplexity, right? To be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn, to be at loss with oneself, not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed. And if you, are of the elect, you're not going to be perplexed. All right. You may go through hard times, but you have the vision. You have the names. If you're sincere, because it's not just having the names and you just been a demon this whole time. But it's being sincere. But you got people using GoFundMe to get meals.
Yeah, after GoFundMe, I don't necessarily think, I need groceries.
Yes, in some cases, very sadly, that is happening.
Wow.
That's the state that we're in currently today, where now even people are using GoFundMe for groceries. And I've seen people use it for years for medical expenses, for surgeries, but now for food. What does this mean for the American economy?
And it's not that there's a lack of resources. Okay, this devil is telling you with his Malthusianism, his Malthusian theory, that there's not enough resources to sustain all of the people. Therefore, we have to kill off a whole bunch of people. That's BS. There's always going to be enough resources. We're on Earth. It's just the management of the resources that is the problem, and the management of the wealth gap. The rich, all right, have hoarded everything to themselves. Okay, and now they're being called out. But they do a good job, okay, of keeping people divided to keep the eye off of them. But eventually that's not going to work.
Well, allow me the indulgence, since I watch all this stuff literally all day, every day, to say to the American people, of which I am a part, happy to be so, born and raised and worked all my life here in the United States, I don't understand why it's taking this long for people to understand what that gentleman from GoFundMe and what you're trying to put on the table for us to think about. Why is it taking this long? It's like watching in slow motion as a train full of happy people seems unaware that the train is heading straight for a stone wall and that this isn't going to end real well within the next 20 seconds if somebody doesn't pull the brake. I mean, this is simply the latest in a pile of statistics. If I
Look how uncomfortable she's getting. Because she really wants this place to get better. There's a lot of our people who really want this place to get better, but what you have to understand is that there's no healing this place. Okay? First of all, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai has determined that this place goes down, but your own elites are crashing this place because freedoms, liberties, rights, freedom to just do what you want, travel abroad, that's done. That life, that way of thinking and living is done. Okay, it's dragon time.
I can pick up on what you just said, Sabrina. You've been aware of this for a while. You just said so. You've been noticing that people around you, friends, neighbors, and so on, are using GoFundMe for what that gentleman calls the essentials. You bet they have been. They've been dipping into their savings, if they have any, for their essentials. They've been leaning on family and friends to help them out a little if they need essential. More and more it's happening. It is what, if I can quote him, what Bernie Sanders quite rightly says are two different Americas. The one that's, raking it in at the stock market and having a ball and with plenty of money to spend, doesn't care if there's an inflation, 2, 3, 4, 5% more for everything from soup to nuts, won't matter to them. They're rich. But then there's the 90% of the rest of us for whom this is not funny. This is not, to use that gentleman's word, flippant. This is serious business. The economy is in terrible shape. Let me be as blunt as I can, and you can see, I've been around a while from the color of my hair, right? You can tell. I've never seen the American economy in this bad shape. Never. Never, ever, ever. And I'm not alone. I sit, have a cup of coffee with my left-wing friends, my right-wing friends, my people in the middle. We don't agree on how we got into this situation, and we don't agree on how to get out of it. No question. But here's what we agree on, which everybody ought to think about. We agree on what I just said, namely, this is the worst condition of the American economy in our respective lifetimes, whether we're in our 80s or in our 20s. And that's the reality.
Yeah, it's really scary times. I still don't think the economy ever fully recovered from the '08 housing crisis.
Right.
I still, go back towards that. And now there is a warning that is coming from Congress because of the government shutdown that SNAP could impact millions of Americans because of the possibility that there could be SNAP cuts. Pennsylvania is one of the states that said that they wouldn't be able to, reverse theirs. They've already put out an announcement. And I was just told yesterday from someone in Missouri that they may be in trouble as well. When we look at the possibility that millions of Americans could have SNAP cuts, I immediately think about the red states because these are the states that usually don't have as much funding as the blue states, right? So like Mississippi, Louisiana, et cetera, they get hit really hard. The farmers in those states are being hit really hard. Why do you think more people are not willing to just take off their political party hats for just a second and just see things for what they really are, which is that the working class is completely being dismissed or forgotten about by either our government, but also the billionaire class. And they're just willing to step on anyone that is beneath them to accomplish their agenda. It just baffles me that millions of Americans could lose access to SNAP, which includes, of course, groceries, and it's called supplemental nutrition, but we're talking about children as well that do depend on SNAP.
Well, I think the politics is largely the problem here. We have two political parties, both of whom depend on donors, and the donors.
See, now's not the time to be, juiced in and, entangled with people in the world. Because these people, they're showing people what you got, letting people in your house. Them niggas looking. Mama, they got water, they got this, they got, You better be very careful. And this is actually a video that I can use in the next video that I have. Because I wanted to, get a few other videos, but damn, time be flying, man. I'm going to actually hold off on this one for the next video.
So let me get this straight. You receive benefits that us taxpayers fund, And now that the government is shut down and there's a possibility that you're not going to get your food stamps for November, you then come on this app and threaten to go steal and beat up loss prevention if they try to stop you. Why would you want to go attack innocent people? Why would you want to go put that on other people that don't deserve it? Okay, and then you say that you're willing to
take care of money. If I ever go hungry, I'm robbing. I'm looting up all types of supermarkets. So respectfully, like, I'm not that worried because, like, I'm just gonna join the crimes. Like, respectfully, I'm really gonna just join the crimes.
Yo, you people got another thing coming.
And guess what? I spent $300. No, I told it to me. Like, where are you? I'm like, I'm gonna go shower. But that was like an hour ago.
You don't even want to say the phrase.
All right. Anyway, you know, people can't imagine Thanksgiving without food stamps. I mean, we could look at these videos all day, you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is prophecy is being fulfilled. You know, the devil is coming down with great wrath. These are the days of vengeance. All right, let's get that. Perilous times, man. All right. The perilous times are here. Prophecy don't lie, man. 1 Timothy 3:1, this also, know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Okay, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, you know, false accusers, incontinent, meaning they lack, you know, it's like the word is escaping me. All right, but self-control, they lack self-control. Fierce, despised of those that are good, trady, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. So these times are associated, just like the flood, right? It was associated with dealing with pride, idol worship, wickedness. Okay, well, these times are getting ready to hit those of our people and the rest of you everyday Americans and heathen, all right, whom the Lord got his eye on, man, because of your wicked works. So the best thing for any of us to do is repent, you know, do the work, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, calling on the names. There's a reward coming. Okay, the Lord, you know, what's that scripture? There's a reward coming for the elect, man. Small and great. What am I thinking about? Revelation 11, I believe. There's another one. Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged. And thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So a reward is coming, all right, to the elect, man. And provision is within that reward. Okay, meaning we're going to eat, we're going to drink, we're going to have everything we need. We just have to be prepared to live as pilgrims and understand comforts. We'll have to be given up. Things are going to change. All right. But again, we cannot be offended by prophecy. Okay. I myself am being affected by some of the things that are taking place. But guess what? All right. My faith is on 100. All right. I believe in the names of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I believe wholeheartedly was written in the volume of the book. And I know that our Lord is not going to leave us out to dry. But I do know, all right, that these times are going to be challenging. It's going to be bittersweet, all right, but there's more sweet for those who are of the elect, okay? The Lord is not, what's that scripture I'm looking for? It's in the book of Hebrews. Hebrews 6 and 10. Okay, better things are coming for us. But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation. Thus, all right, though we thus speak, Let's read this in the NLT. Dear friends, even though we are talking this way, we really don't believe it applies to you as far as the, the bad times and what comes with rejecting the Lord. All right. We are confident that you are meant for better things that come with salvation. See that? For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints, serving in whatever capacity you can, and do minister. See? The Lord is not, let's get this in the NLT, man. God is not unjust. He will not forget how hard you have worked for him and how you have shown your love to him by caring for other believers as you still do. Even if it's prayer, that matters. Okay? And we desire every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end, man. So stay prayed up, stay rooted. All right. These news and prophecies that go by so fast, man. I just felt like I just started, but I'll be back with more, man. Lord willing. Shalom.